Traditional computer programs are sets of instructions for a computer to complete a task. It's like knitting instructions. If you start at the beginning and follow each instruction correctly, when you're done you have a sweater. But watch our videos on AI in the description below to see how AI is fundamentally changing how computers accomplish tasks. Computer programs today run everything from email to multiplayer games, online shopping, and stoplights. Prior to the 1950s, computers were mostly mathematical calculators for math, engineering, and science. Computer programs were written using systems of numbers and symbols, called a programming language, with which only trained mathematicians were comfortable. In 1843, Ada Lovelace, a brilliant mathematician, wrote what is considered to be the first computer program. It set up instructions for calculating a mathematical problem on a machine called the analytical engine, designed by her mentor, mathematician Charles Babbage. Lovelace built on the work started by Babbage, but went farther than he had envisioned. Unfortunately, the analytical engine was never built, and Lovelace's program was never run. Like later efforts at writing computer programs over the next 100 years, Lovelace's program was highly mathematical. Computer programming in the 1940s involved writing out the mathematical steps and then laboriously translating them to ones and zeros for the computer. Setting up programming for a computer could take weeks. In 1952, Grace Hopper and colleagues at Remington Rand wrote the first program that translated instructions written by programmers into the ones and zeros that computers understand. Hopper coined the term compiler for it. In 1955, Hopper wrote Flowmatic, a programming language that combined human language words with the compiler to make programming much faster and easier. Hopper envisioned that someday computers would be much smaller and would be used by ordinary people, but she also understood that ordinary people were not mathematicians and would need a much more user-friendly way to interact with them. She realized that user-friendly computer programming would revolutionize the use of computers in daily life. Through the early 1950s, compilers were further developed and became widely used. In 1957, IBM completed work on Fortran, a programming language proposed by John Backus that also used human language words and had a compiler. But Fortran was still oriented towards math, science, and engineering applications. Grace Hopper didn't give up on her vision of a computer program that could be easily used for applications outside of math, science, and engineering. In 1959, she joined the team that developed COBOL, a programming language based on Flowmatic that was solely designed for business and government applications. This brought computer programs out of the world of math and science and into the world of daily life. COBOL made it possible for many more people to learn how to use programming languages and for programming languages to have wider applications. Today there are hundreds of programming languages, but today's programmers don't have to learn complex mathematics to write code, thanks to the work of Grace Hopper and others who realized the importance that computers would someday have in our daily lives.